Welcome to Compai's Expat Channel. I'm Compai. I am Susua's voice of reason. In this video, I'm going to explain to the investor why he does not want to purchase 5, 6, 7 condos in one condo complex. But guys, if you're thinking of coming to Susua, this is my business, Casa de Compai. Guys, I practice what I preach. I have 6 one-bedroom apartments, exactly the same. This is what we're looking at now. Guys, I have full kitchen, 2 55-inch TVs. I have nice mood lighting, little table, nice comfortable sofa, TV swivel so you can watch TV while you're cooking, watch TV while you're laying on the couch. Guys, full kitchen, everything you need to be able to, for a weekend, a week, a month. Guys, king-size bed. You got to love that California King. You got a workstation. I pay for 100 meg up, 100 meg down. You got a walk-in closet. You got soundproof windows, aircon throughout the whole condo, walk-in closet. There's the workstation for my digital nomads. You got a full bathroom. You got a half bathroom. Guys, I take pride in my condo complex. Shoot me a WhatsApp if you want to contact me. I will also put that in the description down below. So guys, let's get into the video. Why did I not buy 4, 5, 6, 7 condos in one particular condo complex? Why did I make the investment in one property? Guys, this is what separates the investor from the amateur. There's a lot of things that go into owning a condo complex versus 4, 5, 6 condos in one condo complex. The opportunity to acquire wealth is in owning your own condo complex. The opportunity to make money is buying multiple condos in one condo complex. What I don't like about being behind the 8 ball in a condo complex, if I'm going to invest, let's just look at the numbers. For a decent condo, you're talking at least $100 grand. Let's just make it nice and easy. So if you're going to buy 4, 5, 6 condos in the same condo complex, all of them costing you $100,000, you're up to $5,600,000. At that price point, you could buy another condo complex someplace else and run the whole thing. Why is it better to run the whole condo complex versus just sitting back, owning 5 or 6, and letting the administration run everything? Well, first off, under Dominican law, you have to have a voters meeting every month. And if you only have 6 and you don't have that majority, you are subject to the whim of your other owners. Imagine the other owners saying, you know what? We're tired of your client base, John. We don't like who you rent to. We don't like the extra services your condo is required because it's a business where we're pretty much just a residential condo complex. You're working this a little too hard. So our guards got to work a little harder. Our staff has to work a little harder. You require more trash pickup. You use more water. You're taking up more spaces around the pool. You guys are bringing your clients are bringing other guys in. We don't like how it's being run. We're going to limit how many months a year that you can rent your condo. We're going to say every condo can only rent 3 months out of the year. And guys, I've heard of condo complexes talking about doing this. So what they do is they say, we'll only allow people to rent 3 months out of the year. And that pretty much is January, February, March. So everybody makes the money in the high season. The other owners have peace and quiet during the rest of the months that they're in that condo. But you got 5 or 6 condos. So what happened? They just cut you off at the knees. You can't make your money back. You can barely make enough money to pay for those the upkeep on those condos. You cannot run a business based on the whim of your other owners. The other thing is what nobody takes in consideration is the amount of money that you're paying in HOA fees. You can run your own condo complex. I go to D-Lancer and say, I'm not paying that. I need this. This is what I want. I own the whole business. It gives you more leverage in the marketplace. I can pick who my employees are going to be. You can't do that in a condo complex. You're subject to what the administration gives you. You might have issues with the administration. I don't have problems. I don't have that problem. So the big thing is you can control the narrative in your condo complex. You might say, you know what? I'm only going to do couples who want to rent months. Or I'm only going to do week rentals. Or I'm going to go for the digital nomads. You are more flexible in how you market your business. When you're one of 5 or 6 of, when you only owe 4 or 5 in a condo complex, you can't really market that condo complex because you don't own it. All you can market are your rooms. You can't brand your product because it's only individual condos. You can't throw a name to it and really market it the way it should be. I don't have that problem with Casa de Compai. I can brand it the way I want. I can market it the way I want. And that's what enables me to be wealthy versus profitable. The other thing is I also can control my costs a lot better. I can determine when I'm going to do maintenance, what maintenance is going to be done. There's a lot of times your apartment might be fine, but the roofs need to be done. So they'll put an easement in, redo the roofs. Or they'll say, we're going to redo the pool. We're going to do an assessment. We're going to do an assessment where everybody's going to have to pay an extra $800. We have to get this done. My condo complex, yeah, I have to pay it all. But I know what needs to be done. If I'm good at what I do and I'm able to do my maintenance correctly, I'm able to budget that in. I'm able to get a routine for my maintenance. I'm not subject to what the administration wants to do. The other big thing that nobody really takes in consideration is nobody wants to play the long game, especially down here. Everybody wants to get in. Everybody wants to be that guy. They want to be the new kid on the block that's going to tell everybody how to do things. But they don't want to put in the hard knocks to get there. They want instant gratification. They want to be in the market. They want to be in the market now. That means they don't have the money to do that most of the time. So what they do, then I start doing this group funding. I'm going to go in. I got silent investors. I need to buy these apartments with, these 2-3 other guys, and we're going to give them a cut. You will never ever obtain wealth when you have investors like that. Never do. If anything, you're going to lose money. Why do I say you're going to lose money? Because I honestly believe silent partners don't stay silent long. All it takes is one of those partners who's losing his assets back in the United States, says, you know what, I need to sell. I don't have I got fired. I don't want. I need that money to pay my mortgage. I got this expense. I got that expense. Sell. Now, what if the other partners don't have the liquid to buy them out? What if they don't have the cash? So what happens? Do you have to sell that asset? Is the company set up correctly where he can force you to sell? Or do you just lose your investment if you're the guy that needs to cash out? There's so much that goes into it that muddies the waters, that creates an already difficult business environment that makes it much worse, because most of the time, these companies that these guys are doing are not legally laid out correctly. They don't have an RNC number. They don't have it say, okay, if you invested X amount of percentage into the cost of this property, you own X amount of percentage. Most of the guys don't do that. There's such a way to do it correctly, and there's a way not to. I really don't, from my experience, listening to the guys who tell me their stories, John, what should I do? You shouldn't have did it in the beginning. That's usually what I tell them. If you don't have a legal contract within the company that stipulates what you have and what you don't have, what you can do and what you can do, it's all open for interpretation, and good luck fighting that out in Dominican court. At some point, you just got to take what you can get, or a lot of times they just screw you over. So I'm not saying, these guys who are doing this are nefarious, but I'm saying the opportunity is there, and you never want to get people that opportunity. So the another thing nobody really takes in consideration is all it takes is the government to change how business is done in the country, and it will affect the individual owners, not the whole complex owner. What am I saying? Okay, last December, the government wanted to raise a whole bunch of new taxes, and everybody went, oh my God, beer's going to go through the roof, food's going to get it more expensive. There was a reason for that. The IMF wants the Dominican Republic to make more income off of taxes. Why? The Dominican Republic is one tier away from being in the preferred borrowing category, which means is that they can borrow money from the IMF at the best interest rate possible. The only reason this country is not in that top bracket, and that's with all your Western countries. The only reason we're not there is because the IMF wants us to see more taxation. There's already a bill that's on the president's desk waiting to be signed, and it's been sitting there for about a good year and a half, and I hope he signs it soon. It's a way for every rental to be taxed. How is that going to affect the people that have 2, 3, 4 condos? Are they going to be, what if these condo complexes say, you know what, we don't want to get involved with all these companies doing business with the TSS, because nobody wants to deal with any kind of internal revenue service. Will they say, you know what, we're not going to allow you to do a business in this residential community? That's the big thing. So if you don't have the price margin and the profit margin to be able to pay those taxes, get a company, and do all that, you're taken right out of the game. And I think when it finally gets to that point, you're going to see a bunch of people who have 1 or 2 rentals. Like, you know what, I'm not spending the $1,500 American to get a company. I don't feel like registering taxes. It just pays for itself, and I'm happy with that. So I think when that finally comes in, you as an investor, you want to be able to stand on your own. I have 2 companies. I'm affiliated with the TSS, which is the income tax company, tax revenue service. So nothing changes for me. It just makes the playing field more level. These are things nobody takes in consideration when they're getting into this. There's going to come a point where the condo complexes are going to really start cracking down, because what nobody really is talking about anymore is the quality of life issues. 6-8 months ago, it was Airbnb losing whole markets, like the New York market, the San Diego market, or Barcelona. So if you only have 4, 5, 6 condos in one condo complex, and you're relying on VRBO, Airbnb to market your property, and Airbnb has to adhere to more government rules and regulations, you are so behind the 8 ball trying to get your client base. And that's what predominantly most of these individual guys do. I do very little off of Airbnb. Airbnb is my filler. Like if I have a week open, I'll bump the price down on Airbnb and fill it up that way. Then I get the guy's WhatsApp, and then it's all direct marketing. I do this YouTube channel as a form of direct marketing. Within the first 30 seconds, I'm selling you my product, because that's how I make my money. That's why I'm doing this. I'm sharing my information, and I'm peddling my product. But you can't do that if you can't brand and market your own product. You can't peddle it. And I think as Airbnb is losing market share, when the government comes in and says you need to pay your fair share in taxes, it's really going to change how things work down here. So And then when the pressure gets put on, I really think some of these condo complexes are going to go, you know what? We're really not crazy about all the rentals anyway. We really want things to be as, how we envision them as owners, as retirees. Because my first purchase down here in the garden condos, it was set up to be a retirement community. I was one of the first guys out of the gate that started renting. And now it's strictly pretty much just a rental condo complex. I think you're going to see pushback when people are spending more money on condos. I think my first condo was $74,000 back in 2010. Now that very condo is going for $110,000. So things are going to change now that these properties are getting more money. I think you're going to see owners take more interest on what other owners are doing, even more than they're doing now. If you're that serious investor, you really want to create wealth down here. You want to be able to market your property. You want to be able to brand your property. You want to control every aspect. You are along for the ride when you own multiple condos in a condo complex. You're subject to them. Keep that in mind if that's what you're wanting to do. And there's also something else I really don't like saying it like this, but there's really no other way to say it. If you're that owner who's running a business in a non-business condo complex, Casa de Compai, strictly business. There's no residence there. It's my whole business. But when you get into these other condo complexes, people bought them as their residence. They bought them as their vacation spot. Now you're doing a business in a residential condo complex. You're using more resources on that condo complex. You're riding on the backs of those owners. And owners are getting wise to this. And they're getting a little upset. Why am I subsidizing his business? I say that in Hispaniola where I live. I said it to Werner more than once. Hey, Werner, I don't live in a gated community. I live in a business park. Out of the 9 villas, the 13 villas around me, 9 are businesses. Doing business is a privilege here, not a right. They require more security presence. They require more trash pickup. They require security to tell them to keep it down. They have to more registering of guests. They try to bring in extra guests. It just creates more work, more cost for that condo complex. And I think as things get more expensive down here, you're going to see some of these other owners going, hey, why can he do that? Why am I being subjected to this? I think you're going to see that pushback on a quality of life issue. That's why if you're that investor and you want to really do something down here, just being part of a condo complex is not the way to go. Again, if you can afford to buy 4, 5, or 6, you can afford to buy your own condo complex. The thing is, most people don't buy 4 or 5, 6 at the same time. Play the long game, guys. Get your finances in line. Do it in stages if you have to. Rome wasn't built in a day. It took me 4 years to get Casa de Compai to what it resembles now. And it still gets better all the time because I'm always improving, always fixing, always maintaining. It never ends. So taking your time, playing the long, secure game, doing it a little different than versus just getting a bunch of investors, buying a bunch of property, throwing up Airbnb listings, and making money isn't always the best approach. I honestly believe if you want to be independent down here, you want to control your own destiny, you want to control your own marketing, your own branding, and your cost to overhead. That's how you generate wealth down here. Guys, that's just my 2 cents. I hope you got something out of it. Please hit the subscribe button. Give me a like. I absolutely love the comments that are on my channel. I don't get the most views, but the views I get are from people who are intelligent. You guys really come up with some great thoughts, some angles in the comments I didn't think of either. So I appreciate it. So guys, remember, keep personal private and private personal, and peace out.